Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here live from the Edge in Southbank in Queensland, in Brisbane, Queensland,
Sunny
Australia. Brisbane. Sunny Brisbane. I'm Mike,
joined
joined by Vilesider, and
how you doing?
This is the Alpha stream for ACL Brisbane. All the action, of course, via Twitter at #ACL Briz. Just getting that controller set up as well for the game. That's always a great start. But got Capture the Flag Ascent coming up next for map 2. Now, Mindfreak took out a pretty convincing victory there for map 1.
That they did.
What are you expecting here for map 2?
I'm expecting probably, I'm thinking maybe like a 5-3, 5-2 to MF. I think they're breaking out. AV's breaking out sort of awkwardly. I don't know why you'd be pushing tunnels. So this is sort of indicative of what I was saying. So they have a blue player right at the back playing defense really passively, and they've got one man pushed all the way up. Is that Wolfie? Yes, that's Wolfie, all the way at the back of their base. See, look, Dave on defense, only just pushing up now when he's certain his base is 100% clean, which probably is unnecessary in the first 30 seconds of the map. MF all pushing up as a squad, but they left tunnels open, which is not uncommon because tunnels is just a really, obviously, like crap area to be, basically.
Yeah, and I mean, you did notice from that, AVANT actually got 3 down at the same time. So whatever plan they were going with, it didn't seem to work, and now Shox has the flag.
Yeah, and we've got Wolfie pulling out theirs as well, and he's pushed in, managed to make a kill out there in tunnels, which is sort of surprisingly and awkward. He sat back there, lurked for the first minute, and then pulled the flag out. He's run almost all the way back home. Did they get re? Yes, that's re.
Yeah, it did. So both flags back at base. Both flag carriers unsuccessful in their attempts. And
see, that's what I mean.
Back to the beginning.
Wolfie just went for sort of like the clutch sneaky pull, which doesn't really work out all that time, especially if you've all tunnels. It's easy enough for MF to chase. They get pretty good spawns pushed up in mid if that's not blocked, which it didn't look like it was. So I think that's how that re happened. We've got Issei playing fairly passive. 2 down. They're in a good position for a pull here. Issei should probably wait up for that last trade, which I don't think they managed to execute. Yep, so got Wolfie here pulling on his own. It's just unnecessary. Just not a necessary play there. His teammates both just got traded out, and he makes a push for a flag when he knows all of MF is playing D. It's just totally unnecessary.
Yeah, it does seem like they're playing more as individuals right now rather than being as a team. So I think that's definitely a big factor into this. And you still notice, though, we're nearly 2 minutes into this half, and we actually haven't had a flag capture in, though. So that's a great sign for both teams, I guess, for not really being able to show their all yet in these first 2 minutes. And we've had a couple more attempts here from Mindfreak, but no
Shox almost had a flag out then.
No team's really going for their attack. They've focused more on defense. When both teams play defense, you're not going to be you're not going to be going anywhere.
I know you have to back up and you have to trade those kills out. Like you saw MF, they had one guy there and 3 of them back down to make sure that kill happened, so they could push up as a squad, which is it's good to see. And it's pretty important. And I think Fighter snuck out a flag. That's an easy cap straight at mid map. Didn't even get touched.
His teammates just had that cover now. I'm not sure if you noticed over on the minimap. He just went straight ahead through the middle of the map. His teammates watched those cuts through the bends, through the tunnels. And, I mean, they were just getting the kills. You noticed on the minimap, players were shooting. The kill feed was lighting up. Once again, easy capture to them. They lead 1-0 with, the first quarter of the game done.
Yeah, MF is playing this nice and slow. They're just getting trades and all these kills here. Buzzin did get picked up, however. And I think Dave got a 2-piece on Shox and Buzzin. I think Fighter's going to push mid-map. He'll play this sort of passive. He'll look for the pick on Dark Stairs. And I think he'll just hang around light, probably look for a pull. Nope, playing passive.
Yeah, definitely. I just wanted one thing to notice as well. Fighter's going to be on 8 kills for himself now. He's also the one who got the flag capture in for himself, and I was about to say he's going to be a little bit sneaky, but he got taken out in the back.
I thought he was going to be actually there.
Yeah, taken out in the back is definitely not the highlight of my day, but Buzzin, he tried to make something happen. Once again, taking down both flags are back at base. 1 minute 45 in the half.
Looks like... So is that AV? AV pushing out a light now. They have sort of full map control here. If Buzzin can get picks here, this would be a really big deal. Unfortunately, gets taken out. So we've got, AVANT in a position to make a pull happen here. Hope he can manage to... No, sorry, Shox is pulled out. He's going to run up through light. I think AV might have a bit of a tough time on their hands here. I think Shox has run that perfectly. Looks like someone from AV went lowest to try and grab that re, and they did unfortunately end up getting that. I think Shox was mindful of it, but didn't actually sort of take that into account and take that frag.
I mean, 1 minute 12 still remaining here in the first half of Capture the Flag Ascent. Right now, we are on board with Hysteria. He's just going to be, once again, doing that sort of defensive passive position back at his base. And you're going to be seeing players still going to be contesting. So it's important to get these picks up first. And I'm sure you'll be able to elaborate on this. But with only one player going for that flag, the other 2 players were there. But they were a little bit late. They lost their lives. But
I think AV has a cap here. That was clean. That's another one straight down mid. Looks like Dave gets picked up on the right. Looks like there is time for MF to get a counter if they grab these frags. No, Wolfie stopped that from Shox. Dens will play passive here. They have one more chance for a flag. And it looks like Fighter's got that flag out. Gets picked off. Probably ran a little bit of awkward ground. and the stuns are coming in hot and heavy. Buzzin' just been stunned 3 times in a row, no doubt salty. And he's got the entirety of AV all on his ass. And the grab re, and it looks like Fighter might make one more play. No, he's not. He's going to play passive. They're going to play slow. They're going to make sure no flags go out. And we're probably going to end this half at a comfy 1-1 to both teams.
Yeah, I was going to say it's hard to criticize teams when they were able to get that flag cap at the end, but you did notice that just led to their deaths shortly after that as well. As you mentioned, we're going to end the half at an even score line, so both teams managing to get one flag apiece to their total. Now, we still have another 5 minutes left. The sides are going to swap, and we're going to do it all again to see how things play out. Now, well, the sides are going to swap. What's that going to mean for both these two teams?
Well, that's not quite the half I expected. AV had the stronger side there. They have a far easier spawn trap and sort of more map control because they have an extra spawn out in tunnels. And I sort of expected them to sort of make more things happen with that. But I think having Hysteria play a little bit defensive off that start sort of ruined their breakout. Obviously, I don't know that full extent for that defensiveness, but still, I feel like probably should have pushed up with the squad, made things happen. And, oh, that's some sneaky stuns. I didn't even know that existed. Take note, fellas.
Take that,
and ladies,
get that notebook out, write a couple of notes, and see that Hopi giving Shocks the left, right, good night. It's a little bit of daytime right now, but it is going night. And, I mean, that was a great way to start off the half for them.
Hysteria playing a bit passive out and light gets picked. Shocks pushing through tunnels is exactly what he needs to be doing. So he'll be hitting these flanks pretty consistently while his team pushes down up through light. And they'll sort of manipulate those spawns, either force him to spawn back behind him on light, where Den's will be playing and he'll get easy spawn kills, or they'll force him to spawn out in that back right corner by the crane.
I mean, right here, of course, with that, you're going to be seeing with the map on your screens, the players from AVANT are going to be converging there on Buzzin, who does fall defeated. Now, you're going to be seeing the Mindfreak players just trying to regroup there, but Shocks will pick up this flag.
Will pull his flag.
So they're going to be playing an attacking stance right here, and Shocks, I thought he was going to get that kill for him.
I think Shocks played that right, just then he was stuck in awkward ground, but he sort of burned the clock and forced sort of several members of the AVANT team to sort of back up and make sure they get that kill. And it sort of bought time for Fighter to do this, to back up, rotate, and make sure his base is nice and clean.
Yeah, with that, Fighter just...
That's 3 down.
Yeah, I was about to point that out. With the help of Fighter, Shocks, and I do believe that was...
they aren't aware where this last guy is, and that's Wolfie out in Maze. So they sort of played that a little bit slow. Unfortunately, they couldn't make more happen from it, but I think if Wolfie can play this, win this 1v1, which he doesn't get annihilated by Shocks, that clean shot, SA trades out on Dens, and they managed to grab that re. So back to 1-1, still slow, still pretty quiet.
Yeah, it's a very low-scoring game at the moment, but you got to keep in mind with this score being so close, and the fact that we haven't even had a score this half yet. Those ones on that scoreboard are that much more important, because one more flag cap could be the only flag cap we see for the remainder of this half. Yeah,
MF has a lot of experience with this flag game. They've been playing flag for far longer than I have, basically. So they've got sort of that knowledge to know that this is probably going to be one of those long-haul games where it doesn't play out to be sort of a huge win-loss. They're going to play this sort of nice and slow, nice and dirty. You'll see them get this cap, and I guarantee you they'll play this a little bit slow for a second. They'll wait for MF to they'll wait for AV to make a play, and then they'll push up again and have another go at a flag.
Going to be, of course, having that scoreline now become 2-1. 2 minutes 40 still on this clock, and we do have, of course, the final moments here. I mean, to determine the series, AVANT really need to step it up here. Now, it won't, of course, we still have to play our map number 3 after for an all-3 series, but it's going to be a series loss if they can't pick up their game in the next 2.5.
Yeah, well, AV just went 3 down again there. I think Wolfie's the last one pushing up, doing this stuff on his own again, so if he can get in, unfortunately can't. Sort of checks the wrong corner. There's really no reason for anyone to be the corner he checked. But Shocks will push up. Shocks probably just play around now and just kill spawns. Yeah, this is what he's doing. He's trying to burn the clock off. And he's going to push up, sneak through this flank. If he can get this flank, this will be really, really annoying for AV. This should slow him down unless AV makes a good, solid, concerted team push up through that mid, which it looks like they're going to. They're going to break out, push up through light. They'll have decent map control here. I think Shocks will look for any little gap he can to sneak this out. This is a pretty big flag. This is pretty much the game decider right here. He's burning the clock. Looks like Fighter's come back up with him. He's going to trade this kill out. Nice and easy. That's 2 dead. And third player here is going to get that trade. Yes, he is. This is going to go down. This is going to be an easy cap. Nice, comfortable 3-1. No, sorry. SA makes that frag. Cap goes in anyway because there's just the raw amount of MF players back there, and they've managed to pick off frags on the AV boys. They know they had that flag.
Yeah, I mean, for those who did miss that one, we did have the Mindfreak team completely covering all those angles, allowing him to run all the way through. Now, at the end, one player was being a little bit sneaky, so he was able to take out the shot at the end on Shocks.
You need that sneak. That sneak's important.
Up against 3 of the players, with the reaction times that they have, it just didn't stand a chance. And I mean, that makes it 3-1. But
AV's about to run a flag.
Yeah, you know, we're
about
to miss that action.
I know.
But we're going to see him get that slide in to get that cap.
So we're up 2-3. minute left. This is going to be, I think MF will play this nice and tight. They won't play defense. What they'll do is they'll set up, they might have one guy play passive and play annoying, and have the other three sort of play mid, take things, push up slowly. I feel like Issei made the right decision there. Instead of pushing out their tunnels, he chose not to block their spawn. So they'll push up on light. So this will be the best possible way for them to get a flag. He knows that he's probably only going to get one chance at this because even though there is a minute left, MF are just way too structured, way too tight. They'll play this defensively and they'll basically punish them. So Issei's playing this nice and slow. He's waiting for his squad. Looks like he's got a teammate there in tunnels pushing out. All he has to do is basically bait and win this fight, which he won't, because Den's sitting so far back with that AR. Probably made the mistake of contesting an AR with a sub at that range. Might have been a little bit better if he had to push through and sort of bait it from a better angle. But looks like Buzzin snuck in, playing a little sneaky beaver. He's going to put a flag in. There's no one there from AV to stop him. That's going to be game. 100% right there. 2-4. 10 seconds to go. That's over.
They definitely had a good run there, and you just noticed on Buzzin's screen, it was able to just weave in and out through those tunnels, and they just couldn't stop him. They couldn't get a good angle at him to be able to put him in his tracks. Now, with that, Mindfreak will take the series, but of course, being in all three, for seeding purposes, we'll be playing map number 3 as well. That will be a Searching Shore on Biolab.
Yes, I think this is going to be probably the most interesting map of the series. I know playing against T1 back in the day, I think their Biolab was pretty strong. They played it really sort of juicy slow. And I know that will work with Hysteria because I did the strats for this map with Hysteria back when we started. They've got a pretty solid beat. I think that'll come out pretty often from them. I know it's solid. I've got faith in it. But I think MF are just, they know they've got the series win. And I think they're going to probably whip out some risky plays here, do a little bit of like craziness, some hard pushes. Might do some odd stuff they picked up from Champ. So I think this is going to be probably an MF win because I know they've got the confidence. They're warmed up. They're happy. They're good to go. AV sort of they've got everything to sort of gain here, but looks like they're pretty quiet, which is unfortunate. I know it's pool play, and I know this doesn't matter a great deal when you've already guaranteed a top 4 seed, but I don't know. I expected maybe a little bit more hype.
That seed, though, can be very, very dangerous. Because, I mean, we only have 4 teams in our pro pool for that first and fourth, right? It's a 16-team bracket.
Yep.
Now, with that, obviously, you know, higher seeds versus those lower seeds early up in that first round matchup. But then you got your round 2. You know, you got to think ahead of just that early stage.
Yeah, I suppose.
Seeding is very important, especially when you tried it in the pool play, mega in the pool play. You have a lot of these teams.
We have a lot of good teams. We've almost got that solid top 8
there as well.
Exactly. So what have we got? We've got like a good 6-7 teams that can all vie for probably a top spot. I don't know about the top 2, but I think they've all got the capacity to sort of. Well, I think we'll have a really mixed up, really different top 8.
Yeah, and I think that's great because
yes,
I mean, not
fantastic.
only is this our first event here on our national circuit here at ACL, but it was sold out and overbooked as well.
I know.
So yeah, that's a great thing. 21 teams in attendance as well. One team over the cap, originally 2. But, you know, a couple of things happened with that last team. But it's great to see it's overbooked. That, or, you know, maybe not.
Yeah, I think it's some
it's great to see so much enthusiasm for these teams.
I'm so happy.
And, I mean, these teams themselves just, you know, getting that final preparation started. Because, once again, every map counts. And that's something I can't stress enough here for pool play. Because every map counts and every map is important.
Well, I'm interested to see, like, we've got a couple of players in Codcast now, so I assume, because we only have 10 classes on land, I don't have that full 60, I guarantee there's probably some dirty stuff coming out right now. Might see some danger close, might see probably a lot of stuns. I don't expect any threat grenades, but there could be some odd classes learned at Champs coming in right now.
I can't say I've seen one of those threat grenades in a very long while.
We originally had one in Detroit, and that was Hysteria's idea. So, I don't know.
Maybe
Hysteria's on the squad. There could be some weird threat grenades. Could be some odd stuff.
Maybe some secret strats there.
Some secret strats,
for the LAN. You know, preparation.
I hope so.
Some teams do like to be a little bit sneaky like that. It does seem like everyone is good to go. Search and Destroy Biolab, though. Map number 3, final map here for round 2 of the pro pool. I'm excited. You're excited.
Let's go.
Who are you looking to stand out, though, in this game?
I don't know.
Give me that one highlight player from either team.
From either team. I think Hope's got it in him to pull off some magic. I know he hasn't probably had the most stellar 2 respawns, but I think his scope, if he can get his stuff together, I think we'll see some pretty neat scopes out of him. Other team, I think Buzzin's been playing fairly well, actually. He's been dropping some serious numbers. I know in that previous series I watched. So I'm pretty keen to watch a bit of Buzzin, even though we're probably playing some horrible passive role in a corner somewhere.
Yeah, it does seem like we might need to go for a take 2 on this one.
Yes, we might have to do a quick restart.
It's always the take 2, though. At least we don't have to get to take 3. That's always a great start.
Don't say that.
Possibly may have jinxed it. My bad for that. Either way, though, I mean, these two top caliber teams, I mean, you got seeded in his first, Plantronics.Mindfreak, by a fair margin of player points, I might add as well. I do believe it was an additional
it's ridiculous.
20,000.
It's not even fair.
Yeah, so.
Well, I can't even
but at the
fight
same
that.
time, this event will also feature 10,000 pro
Yeah,
points.
that's huge. That's a ridiculous amount of points.
Yes.
So that's really going to do things for seeding for Sydney. I'm interested.
It really is. And I mean, Sydney, 25,000.
Is it seriously?
Yes.
Jeez. All right, I'm going to have to put a team together.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be a great thing for that. Because, I mean, once again, the difference between Mindfreak and our team was just under 20,000 points, I do believe.
Serious?
So they were about to hit that, that extra margin point. But, with that being said, Sydney, Brisbane events get a high placing. You can catch back up in a heartbeat because that's a team total.
Oh, it's team total.
So, I mean, 10,000 player points each, possibly. That's a big thing.
That's ridiculous. That's actually ridiculous. All right. Predictions. Give me a score. What do you think?
Search and Destroy Biolab. I think AVANT will step up a little bit closer.
Yeah?
I'm going to be saying them going to... Yeah, I want to see around 11.
You want to see or you think they'll be?
I'm going to go with both.
Both?
Both.
Ooh,
I want to see and I think it's going to happen. I don't think AVANT's going to let me down in this one. I'm predicting around 11 though, but for it to go to Mindfreak.
All right. I'm thinking we're probably going to get a 6-4.
6-4. Close enough.
Close enough. I don't think it's going to go to that round 11. I think a lot of this is going to come down to how Wolfie plays. Because I know MF play like jerks. They'll play this probably either really fast or they'll play it really slow, and that sucks to play against when you sort of don't quite have as much don't have quite as much experience as everyone else. Looks like Hobie's doing all the traditional picks, but what is this? Yeah, see, here we go. This is this loser play from MF. They're either going to do it slow or they're going to do it fast, and they both just rush through tunnel and contested snow, which is probably the most ridiculous thing that could possibly happen, but they have mid-map now, and it's going to be really awkward. So Wolfie's in sort of opposition, but he does take out Dens, which is actually not a bad frag. So we're looking at a 2v2. Mikester, what do you think?
Wolfie and Hopey taking on Shocks and Fighter. So we got a little bit of a duo there.
We got the duo chin squad. Here we go.
Fighter. So it's going to be interesting. But I just want to highlight for the beginning of the game, we actually did have Hopey and Wolfie go over to the A side.
Yes.
And then Izzy was just browsing around through snow, and then they pushed through that mid side. So it was a cross that he got caught off guard from, and he really couldn't do anything to defend against. As you mentioned, you either play really, really slow or you can play really, really fast and get up in their faces.
Well, unfortunately for AV, Bomb is down in spawn, and MF is set up nicely inside his shed here. It looks like, yeah, there we go. Both dead. They really sort of need to make like a little bit more of a team effort to push out that shed together. They were thinking about it, but it didn't quite come to action. They probably should have just played Bomb, in all honesty, because they knew they both would be stacked up together on shed. It'd be silly for them not to be. Oh, Shocks is running IMR, so this is probably would have been pretty difficult against the subs to actually go out there and grab that bomb. But they could have traded it. I have faith.
They could have tried. I mean, it's the thought that counts,
I guess. Personally, I would have played Bomb there. I wouldn't have bothered trying to contest an AR at that range. I would have grabbed Bomb and then just disappeared off the other side of the map and made them chase me. We'll see. AV here, now on defense. Fighter's got Bomb for MF. Looks like it's going to open with an A. Someone's playing passive in spawn. Probably Buzzin, taking about 6 years to change classes.
No, it is actually going to be Shocks all the way at the backside there.
I'm
Buzzin
sorry,
was close, though. It was fairly close.
Well,
I
just pick the slowest player on the team. That'd be mean.
It was fairly close, but you were close. So I'll give you half a point there for that one. Either way, though, you are going to be seeing them, of course, hovering over to this A side. We're going to be having a little bit of a contest there. If we can find that player there, Dens was shooting over through that 5 side. Now you do notice the players from AV here. 3 players up here, and I mean they've spread themselves, but the shots from Izzy possibly the connect. It does get tagged out in return. Is just going to try and maybe try to recover a little bit of health, but Mindfreak, you notice they've changed their tactics, and AVANT are catching on here, but they were able to actually pick off that kill, pick off 2. Now they've got the
both
numbers.
ARs down. I think we've got 3v2 in favor of AV. I think that's both subs left, so Bomb just went down. This is going to be pretty big picks now. It's Fighter in a 1v4. This is going to be pretty messy. It's really awkward positioning for him. He's got 3 up. He's probably going to have to check that Bomb. He knows he's got a player out behind him. He probably should have expected that someone to be on Bomb already. And we've got some body shooting out of there from Wolfie. Probably not deserved, but nonetheless, there is a bit of a hectic rivalry in here. And I think Issei's probably got some pretty angry influence on his little chin ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to bring it to a 1-1 as well. So my round 11 dream is coming closer round by round, but we've only seen 2 rounds played. So I'm not gonna curse myself just yet, but we do have Wolfie facing the other side and instantly spinning over.
Well,
I'll take it.
MF played that round pretty nice, so that was a good setup. It was pretty solid. Probably didn't quite need to rotate it when they did, because they still had all of AV sort of backed up, playing defensive. But we'll jump into this round now. Still 4 up. SA's got bomb. They're sort of playing a little bit passive around the mid. This looks like a 2-2, sort of similar to what MF did. They're looking for a pick. This will be passive. This is basically what I was talking about earlier. This is the Dotters sort of play style where they'll check every single corner. They'll learn where you can't be, where you can be, and they'll sort of limit it right down to the knowing that there maybe be like 1 or 2 spots where they have to look, and then they'll just put bomb down, and then they'll make those picks as soon as you poke, because the bomb goes down.
The way you say it makes it seem so predictable
That's
at the same time.
all there is to it. Unless someone does something crazy, which is sort of what these teams can do, especially Hopey playing like a Chin, and I know Wolfie probably doesn't have the experience, and he can make mistakes, but I know he's got the gun skill to sort of capitalize on those things.
Yeah. Well, you are going to be seeing in the 30 seconds remaining here in round 3 of Search and Destroy Biolab Map 3 for pool play round 2. We do have Izzy with that bomb in hand now. We do have Hysteria and Wolfie both having fell earlier in the round.
Yeah.
Now Hope is going to fall as well. Izzy's left in a tough situation, but he picks off one. Now 17 seconds remaining. The bomb isn't down, and he still needs 3-4 players. It's going to be difficult, and it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not. Unfortunately, right there at the end, both players managed to get spotted, so it meant that MF could drop the A-bomb site and basically just collapse in and make that plant impossible. I think Issei probably spent a little bit too much time checking corners and allowed the guy down at light to basically just be like, yep, Issei's here. He's not going to plant the bomb. There's nothing he can do. He's going to back up, waste his time, and then we get the kills and lose the round, basically.
Yeah, that we do. I mean, 2-1.
Science. Science.
Science. And we're not going to use that last word at the end of that very, very popular phrase. But Dens here on this, on this attack round is of course going to be going over to this B side with the majority of the team. And you do notice,
yes,
they're going to be, they're just going to be slaughtering.
See, there's that aggressive stuff. I'm not sure. I think a team busted that out against us at Champs. Basically, what they do is they just send 2 straight over the top of the purple, and they try to get in blue, because blue is where everyone sits to cut A and to B. You usually see an AR in here, which is Shox just ran past him. I think he's still up in blue. No, he's dropped. Sorry, that player was outside. So Shox is in perfect position here, just be incredibly annoying. So what AV, like the A players from AV, they'll have to rotate back around through the back of the CTF here, and it's not going to work because Shox is doing stuff like this. Unfortunately, got caught with his pants down reloading, and we got Buzzin trying to play sneaky with picks, probably unnecessary because he knew that he had several players pushing at him. Dens has really sneaky ground here. I don't know how. Oh, the nades.
1v1 situation right now between Dens and Wolfie. He sees him, gets a couple of tags on 7 seconds remaining, won't be able to win the round. He's got the round for himself, doing a little bit of a celebratory dance at the same time. Hopefully not going to kill himself though with the bomb, and he managed to get away. But Wolfie, I mean, once time ran out, he just bailed.
Basically, that's all you have to do. Because Shox has pushed up and burnt so much time on the other 2 guys, it's really, really hard to retake purple. There's just so many spots you have to clear. You have to clear purple, you have to clear the shed at the back, you have to clear probably Biolab because it's easy to rotate through. But it's hard. It really is hard. Yeah. We'll jump on board with, who are we with? Dens. Playing a bit of defense. He's going to get aggressive here. And this is going to be a pretty hard A. If you can get this early pick, that'll be a big deal, which he doesn't. Issei managed to take first frag. That's 2 down. And that should be all the A guys down. No, sorry. MF has rotated early. And they're set up. Well, AV thought about that rotate. Said no. Probably would have been the right play. But it's interesting. It's fun seeing this from the mini-map above instead of having to second-guess everyone. Yeah. Issei still wants to do that rotate. Look at him. He just keeps looking back there. He wants that rotate. He thinks someone's going to flank, but we got Buzzin playing Rat Duty. Buzzin actually got excellent COD timing. He should be able to get a pick. Oh, no. If Buzzin had been just that little slightly bit quicker, he probably would have seen those plays, but he's read this play. And once again, COD timing there. Issei looks away exactly as Buzzin pushes out. So I feel like I should probably be whispering because I don't know how soundproof the soundproof headphones are.
I'm going to be going with very, but I'm going to be agreeing with you nevertheless. And I mean, Issei and Wolfie 2v1 situation. Buzzin's going to be all alone, and I mean, you notice a little bit of a double rotate happening.
It was clean. It was a right play. It was good and sneaky. It'll really irk Buzzin because Buzzin was at A defending all that time, and now he's rotated around the map. He did what he should have done as a proper S&D player. He went wide around the map to make sure nothing can get behind him. But I think he made the mistake of leaving Issei get away from him. He probably should have, like, if he knew they were rotating, he should have chased, he should have cleared out B, and then probably just done the full route back to A.
See what he'll be able to do right now, though, is he does pull out the Maws. Going to be just checking once again. He's in a tricky situation with 23 seconds remaining. 7.5 is going to be used for the defense, but he'll get the shot on one. Second time will go to
Come on, Buzzin. Let's see, mate.
Scope, tries to swap to the secondary, but I mean, if he got that, wow, oh wow. But I mean, it's still impressive for the first shot, but the second play, I mean, look at this. Issei's just going to contest with that ASM1. You just can't.
I'm pretty disgusted.
Unless you are God, you cannot get a quick scope on that.
Buzzin's playing on 2 cents. Which is
definitely
awful. So
get a quick scope on that.
when you're sniping, basic pro tip, fire the first bullet. If you get a tag, it does 99 damage. So you whip out immediately to your secondary and just spray, and then you get a free kill. And Buzzin's greedy and kept his snipe out, and he's on 2 cents, and he's never going to get that second frag.
Possibly just panicked as well. And
no, Buzzin doesn't panic. Come on.
Yeah, you never know.
Composure. He's been doing this longer than everyone else here. I have full faith in Buzzin, but not in his scope. Not on 2 cents.
Yeah, I think I might agree with you on that one. Either way, Den's right here. We'll be seeing Hysteria shutting him down.
Free kill. That's what you get for playing corners, Dave.
Yeah.
Got to push out. Got to clear things. Don't lay there. That's gross.
Yeah, especially in the very, very beginning of the game. I mean, maybe a little bit later on, but at the very beginning when players are still searching everywhere, it's definitely not the right move. Either way, 2 players left up from the AVANT
squad. We got Hopi working a flank. Probably disagree with this play. He's managed to get good ground. He should get a free kill here on Buzzin. This isn't too bad, but Bomb went down. He probably really shouldn't be doubling up and rotating back. I think he probably should have worked with his teammate here, but Wolfie will play picks and doesn't get a pick, gets shot down by Fighter. So we've got Hopi here in a 1v3. 30 seconds left. This is pretty awkward because the other team will obviously just take the other side of the map, and Hopi's sort of been too slow to check everything. So by the time he actually gets on the bomb site, there won't be enough time for a D. And the bomb is planted probably for the opposite spawn in blue.
Oh, that's
actually,
2 players
Hopi.
down. Third player's going to be over.
What Hopi has to do here is basically stand at the bomb and wait for this player to poke him, and hope his shot is better than his.
Let's see.
Which will not happen because that person's a scumbag and they're sneaking around behind him.
Not only that, but Hope took a little bit of his time to rotate up to top purple to contest.
He was clearing his corners, but it just wasn't quick enough. Like, he checked what was in front of him. You have to go fast. If you're last, fast. Hopi knows that. I've grilled Hopi for a very long time. Every time he does something, I'm like, faster. And that was just slow. Like, there's no chance he had of winning that round, basically.
4-2 is currently the round score count at the moment as we load into round 7 of this Search and Destroy Biolab. We're going to be having our attacking team, of course, AVANT, T1.dotters, moving on up once again. Izzy with the bomb. He'll get shot out early.
Yep, Dan's early pick.
Look at Mindfreak. That aggressive play once again coming out.
Dan's shot is just ridiculous. I expected sort of the chin shot from Wolfie to come out there, but Dan's is just... He plays a lot of COD, and he's very good.
Have you noticed the only person who could shut down Dens that round was Buzzin? It happened. I mean, you had that friendly fire kill. I don't know. I think it was from the gas as well to add insult to injury.
Ebola.
But yeah, he was the only one to shut him down. I mean, Dens was on a roll as well. So I think they maybe try to give a little bit of a helpful hand to AVANT. They just couldn't capitalize on it. 5-2 though. 5-2. Definitely a. If this is the final round, definitely a lot different to what we were predicting.
Yeah, I sort of expect a little bit more out of AV, but obviously it takes a bit of time. And MF have had all the time in the world to gel, and it really, really is showing here. Now, I've noticed Shox is running IMR. We've heard a little bit of sort of whinging about the IMR as being like a online warrior gun, basically, and how it's not good on LAN, all this sort of junk. But it's interesting to see Shox running it. Didn't think they'd be the sort of team to buy into that stuff. I know they'll do whatever it takes to win, but I want to note that IMR. See who else is running it for the rest of the day, because I know Buzzin can't do anything but bow. Sorry, I take that back. Buzzin's IMR is okay. He's used it a couple of times, but I think his bow is far better, and the bow really is the OP gun of the game.
Hysteria now in a situation to keep his team in the game. He'll get taken, and that will be 6-2. Mindfreak will be able to take out that series as well. I mean, you see the smiles on their faces, cheeky grins at the same time.
That pool play win is just, it's nice. It's nice to start the day with.
I mean, they haven't dropped the map yet either.
No, they haven't.
It's definitely, they've played 2 out of their 3 pro pool games. They're just like, you know what, we're cruising along. You see those Mindfreak jerseys representing themselves as well. But, I mean, that was a nice early stage game for themselves. AVANT, once again, I thought, maybe they can go for that best case and get for that 2-1, but they just couldn't go for it.
Last time I was in Sydney, we played MF in pool play, and we got the whack. Like, they destroyed us. Buzzin rubbed it in all day, and then, you know how that event ended, sorry? I broke my 3rd place curse.
You did.
And basically beat the snot out of MF.
Yeah,
so that things can change.
I think they've learnt from that as well. I do have to say, I do believe they have learnt.
Yeah, they're not going to let that happen again. But I mean, I just want to point out that things can change. Obviously, that scoreline is not really indicative of probably the rest of the weekend, and Sunday makes all the difference. Yeah,
and I mean, we have seen in previous occasions, specifically Mindfreak, do really, really good one day.
Yeah.
Then they might not do good the next, and hopefully
that's how COD works.
Hopefully they can
play
the bad Call of Duty that are going to be playing is today's games. Hopefully that is going to be the standard
That's
we
probably,
see.
we probably saw the worst.
Rather, maybe not hopefully for us because, we want a lot of close games, but hopefully for them there's going to be. But let's take a little bit of a recap and go back into the games themselves. What went wrong during that hard point?
Well, that hard point was just sort of little things, lots of little things. Like I said earlier, it's just MF capitalized on all little mistakes, and obviously AV is fresh. Like, this is a new squad. This is their first land together. It's going to take some time to get all that tight stuff down, and it's not a given that MF would win that, but it's probably like a good 90% chance they had that victory. And I mean, hard point, I don't know if they would agree with me, but it's definitely a strong point, especially here in Australia.
It definitely is. And I mean, then we moved over to our capture the flag where, we already knew Mindfreak with that hard, aggressive hard point game to maybe move on over and maybe a good respawn chance for the AVANT squad. It didn't really work in that favor. Tell me a little bit about that game as well.
Well, definitely we saw at the start, like I called it, they were either going to play as a team or they were going to choose to split up and have one in their base, one in their own base. And we saw that. Someone's playing defense. I'm not sure if it's Hysteria, but I'm going to guess it was because that's sort of pretty common. And they had Wolfie pushed all the way up, who spent basically the first minute in their base doing nothing, really. He just sort of waiting for an opportunity, and I couldn't really capitalize off of it because by the time he finally pulled, his team was dead, and he sort of took the risk of running out tunnels, and it just didn't pay off. That sort of stuff doesn't work, especially at this level. You really have to be playing as a squad. There's no point really playing sort of that messily, that awkwardly, but it did make the rest of the map a little bit messy. We did see a few sort of awkward plays from MF where they pulled, so there's one person pulling and didn't really have support.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's probably about it. As for the S&D, like we saw, MF just sort of pretty much too strong. Early team pushes, that fast stuff that I said, like that first round, what was that? MF pushed straight through, was it through Bio? Straight out into snow, and then they got bombed down early and were just able to camp. So that stuff really can't happen, and especially if that's your first round after losing 2 respawns, and then you've got MF hiding in your spawn, camping bomb with ARs. That's no fun. And like, I couldn't hear SA from here, which is a little bit sad. So
yeah, it was
that's
possibly
sort
a
of
little bit disappointing for that.
Yeah.
We are going to, of course,
cool.
That series is wrapped up. So that was a 3-0.
Yes,
Mindfreak continuous count of 6-0 as well.
Fantastic.
But we do have a little bit of an interview going on for a post-game. And of course, we'll throw it back to the stage for team captain Mitch Buzzin interview there with the Maniac.
Ladies and gentlemen, so we are here on the main stage of ACL Brisbane 2015. I'm, of course, in Maniac, joined by the captain of Plantronics.Mindfreak, Buzzo. Buzzo, we've just finished round 2 of pool play, where both games so far, you've gone 3-0. You must be feeling pretty good right now.
Oh yeah, it's a bit better than Gfinity. That's sort of where we want to change our play style, not play style, but we want to work on from Gfinity. So we're 0-6 at Gfinity. We're now 6-0 here at the moment. So we're basically just trying to keep a steam train going and trying to roll with other teams, I guess.
So just a bit of a turnaround, complete opposite, I dare say, of Gfinity. So there's been a lot of talk amongst pros, staff here, everyone at the event, kind of wondering how your squad would play coming off an event where you guys didn't pick a game. So did that get in your head, or how has that affected you coming into this event?
Not really. To be honest, we all played average. We had 2 guys that were sick. I think that was energy levels wise, it brought us down a lot because when you're overseas, you travel 21 hours to get there, and you got 2 guys to get sick. And then, like I said in one of my interviews, I was looking at Denz, and he's looking down, and looking at your teammates like that, you can't look at the screen. It's sort of, it's not a good feeling. You know what I mean? You're looking at them just looking down. But yeah.
Well, coming into this event, now going 6-0 in pool play, that's got to be the good feeling now. That's the turnaround you need. How's your squad as a whole feeling after that?
Oh, I'm feeling great. We've been playing these guys a lot online, and from where we're situated in Australia, we're sort of disadvantaged, I guess you could say. We've got Denz from WA, me from Adelaide, and most other teams have a lot of NBN players. So when we play them online, if it's an even game, we know coming to LAN it should be a bit different. The first map was a bit close, but I think we didn't feel like we knew we had it in the bag the whole time, pretty much.
Had it in the bag the whole time. I like it. So with that confidence, surely you must be feeling you're taking out the event. So look, I just want to quickly ask you, at the beginning of the day, people are wondering everyone's thoughts. Let's take your team out of it. If your team's not in this competition, what are the top 3 teams?
I think Trident.
Trident top 3.
Trident should be second. Trident and AVANT. I want to see that match just because of the Chileans and Issei sort of grudge from what happened there after Champs. I think those two teams, I can't really give you a third, fourth, but I think those two teams mix and match. I think Trident have the experience.
Yep.
I think the Hopi, Hysteria sort of line up, Wolfie as well. I don't think they have the experience of later on in the tournaments, I guess you could say. So, you know, they've been to a few Apex, Hysteria and Hopi, and they've never really come out with the goods. They've always, you know, they've seized up, I guess you could say. So I think Trident will have that over them, but that's my couple teams.
Okay, well, thanks for that. We're looking forward to their games and, of course, your games over the rest of the weekend as well. So, guys, watching at home, make sure you stay tuned to all of the action at mlg.tv/ACL. We also have the Bravo stream, which is /ACL2. Follow all the action on our Twitter at ACL Pro. This is ACL Brisbane, brought to you by Astro, BenQ, and HyperX. I'm a Maniac. We'll be back right after this break.